Hello Gemini, here's a reading for you for the time when the sun is in Aquarius. So it's now, it has already begun, and it will last till the 20th of February, more or less. So generally it's for February and the remainder of January, but I always say that whenever you see it, it's probably the best time for you to see it. I also encourage you to see your moon sign and your rising sign if you haven't already, because there are always things that can resonate in this other reading for you. So, as you can see, the cards are already laid out because I was doing the reading in my native language first. So, I know what's going on. Generally, there are a lot of pentacles in your reading. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have the Devil, which is the Capricorn card. So again, Earth energy. Virgo energy. Again, Earth. Lots of Earth. Lots and lots of Earth. 2 cups. 1 sword. No rods. Let's begin with you. You appear as the Devil, which indicates that right now you're under an influence of fear. You are afraid that one day you're going to look in the mirror and see this beautiful and terrifying creature with horns, claws, and wings. I never see cards in one dimension. I would never say this is a bad card, because as each and every card in tarot, it has at least 2 sides, the darker and the brighter. Usually people focus on the darker side of the Devil, which is being tied to something. All kinds of habits, especially bad habits, restrictions, constrictions, anything that encompasses you in a non-positive way. The inability to expand, being bound to something. And that's all true. But on the other hand, this is a life force. This is very much connected with things material and sexuality, this élan vital in us. And this card asks you to take full responsibility for your life and for who you are and for how do you cope with your life energy. The more you are afraid of this immense force in you, the less probable it is you will use it in a constructive way. So when I see this card, I always say, look this in the eye. It's you. Embrace it. Take its power and use it for the greatest good. So that's an invitation to do it for you, Gemini. Your current situation is 4 of Pentacles, which tells me much about, again, fear, not being sure if there's enough. That's why this person is holding this pentacle so dearly, so firmly, because he is afraid that if he gives it away, there won't be enough for him. He's holding on to it. Again, it doesn't mean it's a bad card. No, it isn't. It's great stability. It's great strength. It's great power. I know what I have. I know what I can count on. I know the worth of things around me. I'm the master in my castle. The danger here is, however, that when you close your castle and you close yourself in it, it may easily become your tomb. But you can always, give it away. Just be more free. After perhaps a time when you need to feel very centered and sure of what you have, and after a time when you build your power. So each each and every energy is necessary, is needed in your life, and it gets you somewhere, depending on what you do with it. What this reading indicates is that when you have the power like this Capricorn power, very steady, very big, you can transform it by work. And this is what is required here. This is the nature of actions that you should take, the Three of Pentacles. Sometimes people say it's an obstacle in this position. That's your energy and that's the obstacle. Well, the obstacle, perhaps you have difficulties with this, but this is what's the best thing to do with this, is to work on it, is to share the knowledge, is to make best of what you have. This card also indicates cooperation. And from what I see in this reading, this can be the case, that you expect to cooperate and you have plans to cooperate, but perhaps those people around you are not really ready to cooperate, so there's no one to cooperate with. In that case, just operate. But don't sit, don't wait, operate. Okay? In your base, we have Six of Pentacles, which for me is always perhaps not the opposite of Four of Pentacles, but a totally different usage of this energy. And it's in your subconscious, so perhaps you feel you should use those pentacles. You should put them in harmony and in a flow. Six is always about harmony, giving and taking, letting those money, those material things to build by movement. So you feel it, you know what's going on, you'd like to make it. Okay? And it seems that everything was going according to the plan, because in your past you have Knight of Pentacles, which is precisely operating on material things, like pentacles, offering perhaps to someone, offering the possibility of cooperation, asking someone, do you want to cooperate with me? And I think it stopped because of this answer. This is your environment, and it's Four of Cups. And Four of Cups is stagnation. Four of Cups is saying, well, your cup is not enough for me. Your offer isn't good enough for me. I'm not interested. I'd rather sit here and, do nothing. I want to feel safe. I want to feel secure. I don't want to do anything with this. Go away. I'm not interested in your cup. I'm not interested in your offer. So you're stopped here by your environment, or perhaps somehow your attitude, your fear may influence your environment in order to answer you this way. The environment card for me, usually, almost always, is just a reflection of our own circumstances, of our own energies. And we have it here. So this answer is also a reflection to your own energy. This is a disappointing one, because I'd rather see Three of Wands here, Three of Cups, something like this, the readiness to cooperate, or Six of Pentacles in answer to this. This would be really expansion, expanding energy. But it is what it is. And it really doesn't matter if it's the reflection of your energy or just, something that you could, nothing, something that you, this sentence is too long. Perhaps you couldn't do anything about it, okay? Perhaps you could, perhaps you couldn't. It doesn't matter. The fact is that it appears here. What you can do with it, and these cards are quite clear about it. Once more, the future, Page of Swords. So I was saying about the stop of this night. This night stopped because there's this rejection here. I'm not interested. So this may be the news that somebody is not interested in your offer. Or you can you can say some harsh, bitter words to someone in answer to this rejection. Still, this is not a mature energy. This is someone who is a beginner in speaking, beginner in perhaps selling information. Perhaps selling your idea, selling your offer wasn't good enough. And that may be the case. And that's why, and hence the rejection, hence the lack of interest in this. It can be like that. However, what those cards are saying is, don't be afraid to go alone. Well, these are your hopes and fears. And when I saw this card, I thought, no, it can't be a fear, right? Because Nine of Cups, a beautiful card, wonderful. But again, the second side of this, right? Of course, Nine of Cups is being very content with yourself, being happy with what you have, being emotionally fulfilled, etc., etc. But it's also being alone, being ready for someone to share all this, but still, in this moment, being alone with this. And that's why I think it's not necessarily your hope. It can be your fear that you're alone with this. You know how much you have to offer. You know what can you build with this. And you hope for this. This is in your conscience. This is your plan. This is your head. Two of Swords, which in this particular deck means friendship. Let me tell you. It's not a classical meaning. Conformity, balance, courage, tenderness, affection, and intimacy. So you are hoping for something, for doing something together with someone. But there's this stop here. You cannot do it. You are rejected here. So you are hoping for this, and perhaps this is painful, hence the Page of Swords. But still, this card, your fear that you will have to go it alone, is answered in the outcome card or in the advice card, which is a Hermit. And Hermit is saying, yes, you need to go alone. It's advice to go alone. Use this situation, however disappointing it is to you. Use it for the greater good. Do it alone. If you can't cooperate, operate. Operate alone. Bring the light into the world. That's what the Hermit does, and he does it by himself. Don't worry too much. This is the bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords. Don't worry too much. Don't think too much. It's always overthinking, pushing yourself under pressure, not because of reality, but because of your thoughts. Your thoughts aren't reality. You should always remember about that. You should always be able to cut off your thoughts by saying just that. This is not reality. This is what I create in my head. Okay? So perhaps your fears, something you're afraid of, are misplaced a little bit. It's too big an answer for a situation like this. You can cope with it. You can handle it easily. And I asked for another 2 cards, and I have the Hangman and Queen of Swords. And do you see progress here? Because I see gaining wisdom by operating alone in those circumstances. There's this seeing, the act of seeing in a different way, gaining a new vision of a situation, gaining knowledge. Yes, sacrificing something in order to achieve more. And you do, because we have Page of Swords and now you're Queen of Swords. And Queen of Swords is someone who can transcribe or sell this offer, this plan, in a much better way than the page could. And that's the progress. So perhaps you need a chunk of time when you operate alone on whatever it is, in order to gain a new way of seeing this and the ability to speak it, the ability to transform it in words to your environment, and perhaps this time the answer will be quite different. That's the reading. That's what you should do this time. Do your best. You can do it. You can do it alone. I know you expect cooperation, but if the situation is like that, well, do it alone. Operate. Don't waste that opportunity, because you have much. I see many resources here. So don't use it on waiting, wailing, crying, or doing nothing. No. People around you, they may do nothing, but you need to operate. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. You'll be fine. You'll do great. And I know it. Thank you, Gemini. I wish you a beautiful month. Lots of health, lots of happiness. All the blessings for you. And see you next month. Bye-bye.